bones were aching. I felt like absolute rubbish. Heart was going mental, and I just collapsed on the floor. Today's video is sponsored by Vehicle Score. Now, Vehicle Score is a free vehicle checking service which you can visit by going to vehiclescore.co.uk. Put in your registration number and you will get a unique score to your car. A bit like a credit score, which you can compare yours to the ones in Vehicle Score's database for the average of that make and model. It gives you all sorts of free information such as a mileage history report, an estimated valuation, an estimated lifespan, an in-depth MOT report, performance data. There is so much on offer and it is completely free to use. But if you want more to make sure your vehicle you're buying hasn't got any hidden problems, then make sure you check out their paid check service. Their paid checks are some of the best value out there. They start from as little as a cup of coffee, and you can make sure the vehicle is free of finance. Make sure it hasn't been involved in any accident, so it's not been written off by an insurance company, so a category S or a category M vehicle. You make sure it's not been in a salvage auction, something that's not checked on some standard HPI searches. You're also making sure it's never been used as a taxi or imported or exported. The checks are some of the most thorough out there and at the best possible price, and it's even better because you get a discount for being a Car UK viewer. Simply use the promo code CARUK20 to get 20% off any of those paid checks. But remember, the basic service is completely free to use, so get yourself over to vehiclescore.co.uk or download their app today. Evening all, welcome back to the Car UK channel. My name is Lee and you join me here at the Car Pitch where I deal in cars under £5,000. Right, so glad to be back. I haven't put any videos out over the last sort of week or so. I haven't done any filming for over a fortnight now. There's a good reason for that. Those of you who have seen my community post I put on the YouTube page, I've been ill, so to say, very ill. I was taken ill very, very suddenly about just over a week, 10 days ago. And this is my first day back at work, so I've had a bit of a rotten week or so, to say the least. It was in hospital, so it wasn't a great time. But I am now back in the mix and slowly getting better. I'll talk more about what happened in a minute, because I'm just up against the light. It's very, very late, and I was going to go home. I didn't feel up to filming, but I thought, sod it, I need to do it, and I'm going to persevere through it. So I'm going to go outside, quickly show you around the pitch first, what's been going on, what's been happening whilst I've been in hospital and been home ill, should I say. And we'll talk more about that later on. But let's get outside first and show you what's been happening before we goes too dark. Okay, just going to do a quick roundup because I'm struggling a bit with my voice at the moment, and also as well it's getting a bit dark, so we're not going to be able to see much. And I've got a lot more stuff coming in the end of the week. Hopefully by then I will be in a better position to do a bit more filming, a bit more one-to-one on stuff, so get some more content coming out and going back to the auctions as well, which we're supposed to be this week, but we'll go next week. Hopefully be feeling better for that as well. So quick roundup for now, and we'll do a bit more on the weekend. So as you can see, actually, first of all, we've got a lot of space. We've created a lot of space. We've got a lot of cars that have gone out, we've sold. We've created a lot of, got rid of a lot of waste as well, a lot of Part X stuff and a lot of stuff that was swaps and stuff like that, which we need to get rid of and traded on. So we've done all right with that. We've also got a few more going out as well, some sales. So we sold a 207, which was a sale return car, which is off my landlord, which we've sold. That's going out next few days. Corsa, little Corsa, little 14 plate Minter, low mileage one. That is going out tomorrow morning. Had all the wheels done. It's had did I have a timing changer on that one? It's had dent man has been out and we've done a few dents on the back of it, and it's almost there now. It's all there now, ready and balloted, ready to go. So I'm looking forward to that one going out tomorrow. New brakes as well, we just put on it as well yesterday. So that one's going out. I've got a little KA going out as well, a little black KA going out first thing in the morning. This has been with us for a while. This is finally going out, which I'm glad to see. That's had all sorts done to it. It's had new rear shockers and axles, and I think it had a clutch as well. It's had all sorts done to it. It's had a lot of work. Not a lot of money in that one, but it needs to go. So please see the back of that one as well. And yeah, so that was it. We've got a few cars going out, more space being generated, getting rid of a lot of the waste, getting rid of some of the problem cars and the cars that have been here too long, and I'll be doing something with them or moving them on. So I'm quite liking this space at the moment, and I'm quite liking the fact that we're starting to get into a bit of a rebuild mode, which was what I was trying to do before I became very ill the other week and sort of set it back quite a lot. So I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet a bit and move, well, probably shorten the list down of stuff that needs to go in the workshop and maybe get rid of a few more things, and maybe look to sort of start afresh as we move into October. Got a few gaps appearing as well. Got a gap here, got a gap in the main row. We've got a whole line now we can get going hopefully this week. We're going to get the Vauxhall Viva on sale in the next couple of days. They've got a bumper that's arrived for that. That's over here. Just shoved it on a stand for now. We're going to get that apart tomorrow, build it all up, and get the bumper on that, and then we can get that on sale as well. So we are slowly restocking. A little Suzuki Celerio I've took in part exchange. That is, I'll do a video on that separately when it's done. So I'm going to don't talk too much about that because there's a little bit of a story behind it, which is quite funny, and it's quite an interesting car for what I paid for it. And yeah, there's a bit more to that one, so we'll come back to that and probably the weekend. Little Astra, I've been on sale, an old 08 plate Astra. I think it's done about 90 odd thousand miles, 99,000 miles has come in. It's just had a bit of paint. Paintman's just done a bumper corner for us. I think it was passenger side, he did a bumper corner for us this side here. That was pretty much it really. I know the car very, very well. It's got service history. It's actually sort of technically my sister-in-law, technically, this car. So I do know it very well. It's been around for a few years and we've always looked after it. It's got all axle bushes and shockers and arms and all sorts done to it. It drives very, very, very well actually. So it's a nice little car and we know we'll sell it. So we're just going to do a few little bits to the roof rails and repainting. We're going to do that tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to be on sale. It's a little cheapy. I don't mind old Astra 8s. They're quite good news, them things. They're not as bad as you think actually of Vauxhall Astras. They're not too bad, particularly by the petrols. Inside, well, we've got a little Nissan dealership open up in here. It's Nissan Clutch Centre. Both of these having clutches. One's a warranty job, which is, I think, the last video we talked about before I was strucken down by illness. That's now in. It's done the clutch. I'll come back to that in a minute. And now we've got a Nissan Juke, which is sold. We sold this, I think we mentioned it in my last video. A little diesel Juke. A couple locally have come and bought this one. I think it was up for 4,995 or 4,895, somewhere around there. Anyway, sold. Didn't barter. Loved it. It was only on sale for like 2 days. This is the one we had the wheels done on it. All the wheels had them all re-diamond cut. They come up really nice. And yeah, nice car. I mean, say it's hopefully going to be finished this week. We're just putting a clutch in it. It's a bit heavy. If you remember, on a book picked up from Aston Barclay, I just thought it was a bit heavy. Customers weren't quite sure what I was on about, to be honest. When they drove it, they thought it was a little bit heavy, but they didn't notice. They weren't that bothered, and they were trying to take it as it is. And I was like, no, the look I'm having with clutches at the moment, you're having a clutch. So we sort of said to him, you need to wait. So they've patiently going to wait. They've actually waited a little bit longer than usual because I was ill, obviously last week, and didn't manage to get it in, and the lads obviously prioritised other things. But anyway, it's in now, it's near enough out the box, and it should be back together tomorrow, and then we can get that serviced, MOT'd, get the PDI finished, out to the customer for Saturday. That is the plan, and that'd be a nice turnaround for us, and a good margin as well, because I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but roughly, there's probably £1,600–1,700 profit in that car, which is quite rare. For a car that you probably paid, what, 2 and a bit grand for, a few other bits and bobs on it, bit of margin as well, VAT to pay. You don't always get that much out of this sort of cars that we deal in, usually a lot less than that, but that's a nice margin, it's a nice return on it. And the 1.5 diesel in these Qashqais and Dukes isn't that bad, the engine. It's a Renault engine, and it's actually alright. Some French engines get slated. The 1.5 diesel isn't a bad one. The Qashqai, that is actually done, clutch is back in on that one. We're waiting on the clutch master cylinder, because unfortunately when the clutch burst, the slave cylinder, probably usual reaction, people press down on the pedal and they've just broken the clutch master cylinder, which is the pedal, part of the pedal box area. It's, well, it goes for the bulkhead. But anyway, the point being, it needed a new one. Couldn't get one locally. That's sourced one online. There's typical problems we have with clutch bits at the moment, not just for Nissans, but for a lot of makes. There seems to be a massive shortage of clutch components. So we've had to get one online, and it's coming hopefully tomorrow. Take about an hour to fit, bleed it up, and then we can get it out back to the customer. And then finally, all the warranty claims, which we had a big run of, which is quite unusual for us, which have well, hardly anywhere warranty claims we have, but we have had a run over the last 6-7 weeks, so I have to admit, but we've just had a bit unfortunate, particularly on clutches. It will be done, and that's the last one. So I'm glad to see the back of them all, really. And obviously, no one wants to see warranty claims, but neither do the customers don't want to see broken cars either, so they want them fixed. So it's all going to get sorted in the end. All get sorted. I think that's it, to be honest, out here. I mean, not much else to really report. Things look a lot neater. I'm very pleased about how things are neating up a little bit. I've got a little scurry of cars here I need to do something with. A Punto, which I need to get the wheels redone. That's had some bits done to it. I've had the roof blacked on it because it was a bit, just a bit like someone painted it previously. I've seen these with black roofs in the past, so I've had the roof redone because I think the youth will like that one. And I've got all new badges and stuff go on it and make it a bit of a sport it up a little bit, bling it up a bit. And we always do well with these sort of Evo Puntos, as they're called. A little 11 plate, I think it's a 1.4 petrol, but the wheels won't redoing, so we're going to get the wheels redone. It wasn't a lot of money, this car. I think I gave like 400 or 500 quid for it. It's locked, otherwise I'd show you inside it. But it's a little 5-speed, 1.4 petrol in white on 11 plate. It wants cleaning up, but you can see where we're going with it. We've got all the later badge for it, all the later black decor badges and stuff. I've done one of these before where we sort of minted them up a little bit and tastily modified them, and they always flog out the door dead quick. People love them, which is odd really, because the Puntos generally aren't brilliant sellers, but when they're a bit blingy or a little bit sort of, you know, youthful looking, shall we say, and especially these Evo model, they do all right. Got a little Jazz in the corner there, which I wish I hadn't bought. Got recommended it by someone who offered me in good faith. In fairness, he's actually offered me 2 cars. One of them's very good, a little Igo, which is off to the paint shop, which is going to be back next week, a little 11 plate one, which is a good car. And then we've got this Jazz, which is a good car, but it needs a lot of work. And it's one of those ones when you bought it and you think, oh God, we just didn't need this now. This is what we were avoiding. We didn't want stuff like this. It's a shame really, because it's a 58 plate, last of the Mark 1 Jazzes. So this is the last year they ran them on the 58. But it needs a gearbox. It needs a clutch actually, but it also needs a gearbox. And it's just, yeah, it's just becoming a bit of a pain really. It's one of those jobs that you just know that yes, it can be done, but will it get done? So we'll have to see how it happens. I'm going to give myself, if it hasn't done within a month, it just needs to go. But it's a shame. It's not expensive to do. Box out, a couple £100 refurb on them. They're not dear to do. Clutches are about £70-80. I think you want a brake pipe as well. It'll make a car, and it doesn't need any paint, which is a bonus. But will it get done? I don't know. I keep saying this about things, and this is what got me in the mess in the first place. Other little bits and bobs, like I said, this is a queue of ones here. A Ford KA wants a clutch doing, so we've got to sort that out. Little 107 coming as a part exchange, rotten as a pair, absolutely rotten as a pair. It's the worst one I've ever seen, absolutely rotten on the other side. Don't know what to do with that. I don't mind welding, and it doesn't really cost you anything other than a bit of time and a bit of metal. But whether we'll get round to it, I don't know. I might have a go trying to weld that maybe on one Saturday, and if we can weld it up and then MOT it and then just tray it on. I won't retail it. I don't mind welding the odd one of these up, particularly older ones, because they do rot a bit on the back sills. I've mentioned it on videos in the past. But there's a little bit, you know, it's all right doing a little bit of plating, patching up somewhere and re-undersealing it and doing a proper job and make it look smart and solid again, cutting out the metal. There's one, and there's another doing one like this, which is like literally lost about 3 foot of its sill, and it looks really bad. It needs a new sill on it. So I don't really want to put a new sill on one and then retail it, to be honest, because I think it will still be a little bit patch and mend over the next few years. I don't really want to be doing that to a customer. I'd rather just sell one that's really straight, because plenty of them about. Last thing update, Merc, I have ordered a timing chain kit for that finally. That's my second timing chain kit I ordered for it, because the first one never arrived. It just, as usual on eBay, you order something, it doesn't turn up, you check on your inboxes and they go, oh, we refund you. They never tell you. So anyway, I've ordered that, and that can get hopefully dropped off next week, and I can get it finally done. Let me come inside and talk to you, to this camera out, about what's been happening over the last 10 days and what happened to me. Right, okay, so what has happened, what's been going on, why have I been sort of off the radar for the last sort of 10 to 14 days? Because I usually put out about 2 or 3 videos a week, so I've not put anything out for over a week, maybe 10 days, and not filmed anything, like I said, for a good few weeks. Luckily, I had a few bits left over before, whilst I was ill, that was still going out, otherwise I'd have probably a bigger gap. But anyway, the point being that I became very ill very quickly. It all started about a week last Saturday. I was very poorly. I didn't feel great during the day. Went to bed and just thought, I think I'm coming down with flu here. Now that day I'd been having some issues with my mouth. I didn't think anything of it, to be honest with you. Just thought it was a little bit of achy jaw or whatever. Didn't put anything two together. The point being, I went to bed, woke up at about 4 in the morning and felt absolutely terrible, needed the toilet. Went to the toilet, come back, and as I came back from the toilet, my bones were aching and felt like absolute rubbish. Heart was going mental, and I just collapsed on the floor. Collapsed on the floor, didn't know what to do, literally in a ruck in the corner. I was still conscious, but I was really out of it, and I couldn't stand or anything. I've never felt anything like it. It's like literally my whole body just went from underneath me. And anyway, my wife found me and basically knew I was really bad, and then managed to get me back into bed. and rang an ambulance. And as soon as you spoke to the 111 people, they said, no, this doesn't sound good, you need to get an ambulance to him. So the ambulance came, they looked at me, they weren't happy with what they were getting on their sort of scores on the doors on the old machines they used, and they said, no, you need to go to hospital now. So they took me in, and so I was wheeled in, absolutely out of it. I do recall being in the reception area of the hospital and having a conversation with a guy on the front desk who was very unhelpful, who was basically trying to stop me, one of the receptionists, from being admitted to the hospital, because he was basically saying, no, you can't come in, we need to send you here, and he was basically trying to send me to a dentist. It was ridiculous, but I'll come back to that in a minute. But anyway, eventually I did manage to be seen by a nurse, and they looked at me and realised that I was in a real bad state. Heart rate was for the roof. I was in a chair, literally dead to the world, and my heart's beating at like 140 odd beats a minute, which is not good when you're 36 years of age and your heart's that sort of speed when you're doing nothing, practically asleep in a chair. That's not normal. I think there's a word, tachycardic or something like that it's called. I probably pronounced it wrong, but whatever it is, someone will put it here and here, whatever it is. But whatever it was that, and wasn't good. And they took me blood levels and stuff, and they said, you've got all the signs here of sepsis, so we're going to admit you immediately. So they took me straight in and rigged me up to all sorts of fluids and antibiotics immediately, and started treating me for that. And that was basically what happened. I was had blood poisoning. Now luckily it was, and I say luckily, it was a very mild infection, as in on the sepsis scale. It was blood poisoning. It was saying you get real bad sepsis, which I know a couple of people who've had in the past. Even if you're a younger age, it can kill you, and you go into intensive care or in high dependency. So mine was caught early. I managed to they get me in there and get me out really in quite a impressive time. Really, I mean, literally within I think the following day, that evening, I was out. And obviously had to carry on going home, resting. I mean, I didn't get out of bed for about 4 days, taking antibiotics, 2 types of antibiotics, all sorts, to eventually subdue this infection, which did pass. I started feeling better towards the end of the week, and it was up and about a bit. Now I've just got basically, although I physically feel fine, I don't say 100%, I'm probably about 70%. I'm a lot better than I was a week ago because I could barely move. But I've still got problems with my mouth and stuff, because the whole problem, what caused this, was an abscess in my tooth. That's basically what's caused it. I mean, literally, I don't know where it had been. I could have potentially died if it had left it too long and got full blown sepsis. That could happen, but I could have been very, very ill at least if I had not got to the hospital when I did and got treated and seen as quickly as I did. So yeah, that's what started it all, from an abscess in a tooth, which is still in my gob, this tooth, and it needs coming out. That is going to happen hopefully on Thursday, which is 2 days time from now. When my antibiotics finish, they're going to take me in and get this whipped out, and then hopefully from there should be in the clear, and it won't happen again. That's hopefully the case. I don't have any more issues. And so the golden rule here is that don't leave your teeth to decay, because it could kill you, basically. So I shan't be making that mistake again. I shall be regularly attending the dentist from now on. I'm always been a bit of a funny one with dentists. I never went to dentists for a very long time. I went when I was a kid and teenager, and I stopped going for ages. And eventually got to the point where I had problems with my teeth. I thought, I'm just going to have to just stop being a baby and go. And I went there and started having all stuff done. And I realised that dentists aren't actually that bad. They're expensive, particularly if you can't get an NHS one, which I'm fuming about. But the point being that they were all right, and they did all the work. And the last job on my list was I had one tooth, the only tooth that's actually manky, and these coming out of the gob. The rest of them are actually all decent for someone who never bothered to go to the dentist that often. And these just said it needs to come out. And I was supposed to have it out last month, and the only day they could get me in was like 2 days before I was going on holiday. And I thought, do I really want to take this tooth out 2 days for about to go away, big hole in my tooth in my jaw, going abroad? You just worry, don't you, thinking, I don't want to end up stranded there or end up in hospital there or something goes wrong. It's been in me gob for 10 years broken. What's another week or two going to do? Well, it turns out it was not a good idea. It should have had it out. But there we go. Hindsight and all that. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, that's the reason why I would say it's... I've never felt anything like that. I'm not usually ill. I get the odd flu, a bit of sniffles and stuff like that, like most of us do, a bit of man flu. But real illness, I've never really experienced like that. And I was horrendously ill. I mean, the fact that you have to go to hospital, I mean, dead to the world says everything you need to know. You know when you're bad, and trust me, I was fucking bad. But yeah, on the mend now, so this is good news. I've had lots of time to think as well over the last sort of 5 days in particular, when my mind's been a bit more active about what I can do going forward. Got a few changes I'm going to make, not just on the site here, but also to the channel as well. Going to start doing some new things. So you are going to see hopefully some changes over the next few weeks when things start getting a bit better for me, but nothing too radical. We're still going to go in the auctions, going to do more auction content in reality. So we're going to definitely doing that. We're going to do a bit more filming on site, more day-to-day filming as well. So maybe just, actually do more interaction around the site and stuff like that. We're going to do a lot more smaller videos as well, just to sort of give more regular content as well as the usual updates and one-off stuff I do as well. I usually always have a bit of a rant as well. I might start doing a few more rants. I'm starting to enjoy ranting and talking about other subjects and topics in the motor trade, in the car game itself. Basically, that's what I'm going to be doing. Because we're doing a bit more, might be getting a bit of help as well. Might look at maybe getting someone else in to maybe help me, particularly with the editing side of it, smarten things up a little bit. Yeah, that's the plan going forward. That's what I'm going to try and do. Anyway, so I'll see how that pans out. It is great to be back. This isn't, like I said, a proper full video. I will be doing some more content filming this weekend. Start getting into sort of better rhythm, slowly, and then over the next 2 weeks we'll go back to full pelt and start bringing you some proper content. If anyone's got anything they would like to see, by the way, any content in particular, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feedback as well, where you think we should go with it, what you would like to know more about, certain subjects, stuff like that, whether it's about the motor trade itself, particular models of cars in particular, the auctions, whatever it is, let me know, and I will do my best to start creating content for you to enjoy. So thank you again, guys, and thank you for everyone as well who commented on my post I put in last week when I was very poorly. People came back with some lovely comments. I do appreciate it as well. So thank you for everyone who responded. Thanks again, guys. Please check out today's sponsor as well, our good friends at Vehicle Score. If you use the service, which is free by the way, but if you do use the paid check services, the HPI check services, make sure you use our promo code because you get an additional 20% off. So make sure you always use a check service like Vehicle Score when buying a car. It's very important because you don't want to get caught out. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.